Good morning, everyone. Okay, the microphone is working. That's good. Well, guess what I got delivered from Amazon yesterday? You'll never get it. I got some new readers. Did you guys figure it out? It's like the worst Blues Clues episode. We just figured out Kev's clues. We just figured out Kev's clues. Hold on, let me get this off my glasses. See? That's how a pro does things. Welcome to Spilling Covfefe. We get together, we talk. We talk about you, mostly. And by you, I mean me. And stuff that's happening in the news and whatever's going on. It's early in the morning here. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm Hollywood adjacent right now. Technically, I'm Pasadena adjacent. It's early in the morning. And I'm going to keep my voice down, hopefully, today. Because producer JoJo has a room a scant distance away from mine, and she's still sleeping, so we won't get too exciting. Libby misses my long hair. I miss my long hair too, Libby. I just got it cut the other day, and I happened to pick a Supercuts where they were playing country music the whole time, and I thought, this is where I get COVID. Speaking of COVID cases, yay, we're doing it. COVID cases have leveled off, falling by 57% since its recent high. Still 75,000 cases a day. You guys remember when we would panic because we had 15 cases in the United States? Now, granted, some of us knew that pretty soon we'd be close to zero. 75,000. And the pandemic's over. I was watching a feed from a hockey game. Oh, I never finished this story from yesterday. I'll say hi to everybody in a second here. Morning, Cujo. Except Cujo. I'm going to say hi to Cujo right now. Cujo deserves it. Two stories. Number one, I forget. Number two, we talked a little bit yesterday. I showed you the video, and you may have seen this on the Twitters, etc., of a hockey team that was chanting bad things. In fact, I'll pull it up again for those of you who weren't around yesterday. I'll take a second here, and I will say hi to everybody who's in here. If you are in the chat room, if you want to be up on the blue chat over there to my right, to your left, go ahead and just chat on whatever platform you're on. Looks like everybody this morning is on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, go ahead and chat via Twitter. Whatever it is, wherever you can make a comment, Facebook, etc., just make it there. It'll go over to that blue area there, so don't feel like you're not included. Good morning, Yoshi. Liberty's here. Stephanie's here. Who else? Am I missing anybody? So welcome aboard. There's more people. There's other people out there. Eve is here. Cujo, I've said hi to. There's other people watching who aren't chatting right now. Hello to you as well. Hello specifically to anyone who's a vet. It is Veterans Day here in the United States and several other countries as well. We're not the only one who celebrates our veterans. So to those who survived the great wars, whatever war they might have been, thank you for your service. And thank you to the vets who are currently serving as well, if you happen to be watching. My father's a veteran. Thanks, Dad. He's not watching. Sometimes he does. Actually, no. He's on Kauai right now. He's in Hawaii, and he's probably fast asleep. Although he keeps sending out pictures of the sunrise. And yesterday he sent out over Facebook Messenger to the family, in a group chat. We have a little group chat. He sent out a picture of the sunrise, and then a couple of minutes later he sent out a picture of his passport, a faucet that it looks like maybe he was repairing at home in Seattle, a picture of his dog, a carpet, his living room, and a picture of his finger covering the camera lens. So either he wants to share things with us or he's having a small stroke. So if you happen to be in Kauai and see a bearded white guy, check in on him, ask him if he's smelling toast. Do that for me. Anyway, Dad is a veteran. Libby's husband is a Desert Shield vet. Thank you very much for his service, or maybe he was a Desert Shield vet. I don't know if he's still around or not. Either way, thank you. Good morning, Phil. Good to see Phil as well. Again, if you're just joining us in the chat, we're waiting a couple minutes before we really get going here for people to join. This is Spilling Covfefe. There's no agenda this morning. Let me show you guys what I was talking about, and then I have to finish. Oh, I did finish the story yesterday. I want to share it with you again because I was just thinking about Penguins hockey for some reason. I think the Penguins hockey, that's a good nickname for a team. And they used to play in the Igloo. Now they play at PPG Paints Arena, which stands for Pittsburgh Paint and Glass, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. So it's Pittsburgh Paints and Glass Paints Arena, which is redundant and repetitive and redundant. I'm pretty sure that's... Somebody can fact check me on that. I'm not going to bother fact check, but I think it's Pittsburgh Paints and Glass. Anyway, so the... I don't know if I need to show you the video. Should we watch the video? I think everybody saw it yesterday, but let's watch it again for the sake of posterity. Or prosperity, whichever one works for you. Here we go. Let's bring it over. It's from 50 Shades Away on YouTube. Let me put my headphones on. This might be blasting for you. Hold on, guys. Let me check. Oh, it's not bad. So here's this. They're playing. It's two high school teams playing hockey. It's the Mars High School versus some other. Oh, you know what? Mars might actually be a city in Pennsylvania. I don't know because there's M&M Mars, which are made in Pennsylvania, or came from Pennsylvania. So M&M Mars Company. Mars might actually be the name of a city or the name of a gentleman. I don't know. But one way or another, this is Mars High School. They have a female goalie. The kids who go to the other high school decided to chant some things that weren't friendly. So there they are chanting, "She's a whore." And it's not even like a good chant. That's the thing. They should be suspended just for trying the "She's a whore. She's a whore." Sometimes at hockey games, they'll show everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. But on the screen, they show hockey gloves. They have an animation of hockey gloves clapping together, and it's always off the beat. So I always try and chant with the beat. I always try and clap with the animation on the screen, it's hard to do. Try it sometime. And at one point, my kids noticed I was doing that, and they started doing it as well. I'm hoping it becomes a thing. It spreads throughout the hockey world with the... what else is going on, guys? Go ahead and mention things in the chat. During Covfefe, the morning chats that we have, I try and pay attention to what's going on in the chat room. So if you got something to talk about, or if you want to say thanks to a veteran that you know out there, or whatever, let me know. Remembrance Day up in Canada. In Canada on the 11th, it's not only Veterans Day, it's Remembrance Day, where we remember the vets who passed as well. Here we have, in the United States, we have, we used to have Armistice Day. We have Veterans Day, and then we have Memorial Day as well. So Memorial Day is for those who've passed. Veterans Day is for those who are still here. Celebrate both. As a Canadian, I feel like Remembrance Day should be on another day, like Thanksgiving, so we can celebrate it. I can celebrate both. And so can you. I welcome everyone to celebrate as many holidays as they want to. By the way, happy Queen Victoria Day. So this is first they chant, "She's a whore." They're there. She's a whore. Okay, got it. She's a whore. Moving on. And then this chant is so bad, I don't even know what they're saying, but apparently they were saying "suck our dicks." And the female goalie on the Mars team apparently was not happy about the whole experience. I don't imagine that she would be. However, then the Pittsburgh Penguins invited the whole team to sit in... I don't know if they were in a luxury box. I'm just going to say that. I can't fact check this, but I do know that they were at the arena because it was like, "Welcome Mars High School" or whatever on the big screen at the Pittsburgh game. So I thought that was really nice of the Penguins. And now I'm a big Penguins fan because of that. That game, the big star of the Penguins, Sidney Crosby, he missed the game. One of the best players in the game, one of the best players in NHL history. Probably top 10, maybe top 5. I'm going to say top 7. Anyway, he missed the game because he got COVID. But he's also vaccinated, and it was a breakthrough infection, etc. Not like our friend Aaron Rodgers, who Green Bay is my second favorite NFL team. Mostly, there's 2 reasons. Number one, they look just like my Edmonton Eskimos. Growing up, that was my team, of course, in Canada, in the Canadian Football League, which is a far superior game than to the NFL. There's no argument about it. That's just the way it is. Much more exciting. And the second thing is Green Bay is the only major sports franchise that's owned by the city. So it's not some millionaire, billionaire who owns the franchise. Otherwise, they would have left Green Bay 40 years ago because it's a small market. It's not even Milwaukee. It's just Green Bay. There's like 18 people in the city. But they own the team. So the team can't go anywhere. And I love that. The team belongs to the city. And I'm a huge Green Bay fan. I am no longer a fan of Aaron Rodgers. Because he lied. He said he was immunized. And now he's taking treatments from Joe Rogan because he did his own research. I have no problem with people doing their own research. But don't do your research based on Dr. Joe Rogan. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you. Deidre, welcome as well. Let's see. Remembering my grandfather, Grandfather Carroll, who fought in the South Pacific in World War II. So thank you very much for your service if you're still around. And thank you very much for living so long, Grandfather. Stephanie's husband is a huge Pittsburgh Penguins fan. I endorse that. You know the Pittsburgh Penguins changed their logo to make the penguin look meaner at some point? I kid you not. Let's hold on a second here. We'll take a look at this because it's kind of funny. Because they basically did what cartoons do to make things angrier. Here, let's overtime. Over the years, even better. Over the years. We'll zoom in on this so you guys can see as well. Let's see if I'm imagining things. Yeah, so here's the old. Look at this old. Boop. This is the old original Penguin. Hold on. There's the old original Penguin. Happy Penguin. Unsophisticated artwork, quite frankly, but better than I could do. Penguin's got little skinny old legs, skates. They're not double-bladed skates, but he's got a hockey stick that's taped up. The gloves look like old-style hockey skates. He's got a scarf on, and I love that. I love that he's wearing a scarf. And then, suddenly, at some point, they decided, you know what? We're changing this up. We're making him angry. He's still got the old-style gloves, but look at that. The little eye, that little line above the eye. See the way the eyebrows come down? He's so angry. Look at this. This guy's super angry. See how big that eyebrow is? His beak is ready to kill somebody. He's ready to disembowel his opponents. So that's what's happened to the Pittsburgh Penguins logo over the years. I liked Happy Penguin. I did. Hold on. Oh, here's a whole history. Hold on. 1967, when they came into the league. Let's zoom in on this. I know they need to splatter blood on the stick. Chris, being a graphic artist, would know that. Absolutely. They need a little red in their color. Vegas has a little red that you don't even know about in their jersey. Anaheim has a little red as well that they have in their jersey. The Ducks. Because the Mighty Ducks slay. So Anaheim has that, and sometimes they'll wear their special third jersey. And that'll have some blood on it, which is kind of cool. So Pittsburgh, let's see if I can zoom in any more than this. Can I make this bigger? Let's see if we can take a look at Pittsburgh. This is going to be small. So no eyebrow, no eyebrow. 1972, they decided it was going to be angry. Then in the 1990s, during the Mario Lemieux era, over here you can see these two. Very slick. Very stylized. Kind of cool. 2002, they brought back the Angry Penguin because they hadn't won the cup in a couple of years. And they changed their gold color to more of a, I'm going to say bronze, but they said that was gold. And then they changed it back, and now it's back sort of the original yellow, a little more mustardy, and still the Angry Penguin. So there's your history. 2016 when they brought back, and I don't know that they've won a cup since then. I don't know. They've won 5 cups. They've won a lot of cups. And I think they've won since 2016. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. Sorry about that. You guys don't want to see that again. Welcome to Spilling Covfefe. Chris Wilson said, "Make it bigger." That's what she said. That's Chris Wilson saying that. I don't use that joke. That's just low-hanging fruit. Eve, I was spacing out just now like a make more coffee, back to bed. I don't know. We'll stare a while at the Kyle trial. Yeah. So this happened. If you haven't caught this yet, this whole thing just sort of makes the trial a sham. There's a trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, who decided he was going to grab his gun as a 17-year-old, cross state lines, and go to what was amounting to a riot in Wisconsin. So he drove a couple hundred miles to Wisconsin with his gun, with an AK-47, which apparently he wasn't... Oh, AR-15, excuse me. Not the Kalashnikov. That's not even a thing. It's early, kids. So anyway, he drove to Kenosha, by gosh. And he decided he was going to defend himself when he was pointing other people were threatening him when he was pointing the rifle at them after he just shot somebody. But he was being threatened by a guy who wasn't pointing a gun at him, so he killed him too. And then in the middle of the trial, the judge, who's done some very erratic things, like saying, for example, that the prosecution can't call the victims. You can go ahead and call the dead people rioters, but you can't call them victims. Even though there's no evidence that those dead people were actually rioting. They're not victims, which is standard in criminal cases, by the way. That's just what you call them, perps and victims. Across the board. Alleged perpetrators. Or penguins. If you see that, I mean, with a little blood on the stick, there's your evidence right there. So the penguin skated across state lines, had blood on his stick, and in the middle of the trial... Hold on, I'll find it for you because this is all over the Twitters, and let's not notifications. Hold on, let's see if it comes up right away because this will be a thing. It's going to be on ASIN's feed. What's this? San Francisco gas is $5.85. Yep. There was a picture of a $5.99 gas station yesterday somewhere on Fox or something like that, and ASIN did some research on it and found out that was a full service station in Beverly Hills. Okay, so things are happening today with ASIN. The trial's happening, so there's updates today. This is what happened yesterday. The whole trial should be thrown out just on this basis. It should be a mistrial. It should be a retrial with a different judge, based solely upon this. Let's see if I can find it here. I know that Aaron Rupar had it. So this is... okay, so let's just watch this part right here. We'll cover the trial a little bit. It's just going to be a disappointment. The trial. It will end in disappointment for so many, but let's just listen to what's going on here.
Dr. Kelly's testimony that the first gunshot from you to Mr. Rosenbaum caused Mr. Rosenbaum to start falling to the ground. Did you hear that testimony?
I did.
And then you continued to fire 3 more shots into him after that, didn't you?
I continued to fire until he was no longer a threat to me.
When he's falling to the ground in front of you, he's no longer a threat to you. His pelvis is broken, right?
I don't know.
But he's fallen to the ground, isn't he?
I saw him lunging towards my gun, and I remember his hand on the barrel of my gun.
Because he was trying to push it out of the way so you wouldn't shoot him.
The jury's not going to fall for that argument. Not the argument from the prosecutor. From Rittenhouse, the argument from the prosecutor. Because someone is still a threat as they're falling. Somebody can shoot you from the ground. So, that's just a terrible argument. So the attorneys have made some great points, and the prosecution have made some terrible points as well. That being said, let's hear. Here they're catching him in a lie. I'm going to pump up the volume. Hold on.
He had a gun, didn't you?
That's what I said.
And the crowd that are asking you why you just shot someone, right?
Yes.
And you told him he had a gun.
At the time I was a little dazed, and I was thinking of Mr. Zeminski with the pistol he had at the Duramax.
So you shot Mr. Rosenbaum because Joshua Zeminski had a pistol?
No.
You don't get to shoot someone else. You don't get to shoot someone else because someone else has a gun, right?
No.
But you told the crowd he had a gun, didn't you?
That's what I said.
And that wasn't true. Mr. Rosenbaum never had a gun, right?
He didn't have a gun.
Now can we please play exhibit number 3?
Rosenbaum didn't have a gun, therefore not a threat. So, okay. Now the prosecution's case makes a little more sense. I take that back. Although, and we're just seeing clips here. But Rosenbaum, the gentleman who was killed, murdered by Kyle Rittenhouse in the previous clip, we were referring to him. It turns out he didn't have a gun. So if he's fallen to the ground with a broken pelvis, which, of course, Kyle Rittenhouse has no way of knowing that his pelvis is broken by the shot or however the pelvis broke, not a threat to begin with if he doesn't have a gun. If he's lunging at you, that's, oh no, a human being can kill somebody else by falling on them. No. So that's not an imminent threat. No self-defense argument there. But he's being allowed to use the self-defense argument. And that's what he'll plead and probably get away with it. Let's go back to the judge. This is from, now we're back at yesterday. And okay, so let's go. This is Aaron's video right here, which Asen retweeted. This is from yesterday, and this is trying to shed light on Rittenhouse's story.
Fair to say that after...
Hold on. This is really quiet, too. I don't know why the videos are coming in so quiet. Here we go. I pumped it up. Get ready.
The police pushed everybody south of 60th. You never saw any people threatening that property, correct?
I didn't see anybody.
And your goal that night, you took it upon yourself to protect the 59th Street property, correct?
The owners asked.
Sure. But you were going to station yourself at that property to try...
17-year-old kid with an AR-15. I'm going to protect some property.
And protect it from damage.
I'm going to drive a couple of 100 miles and protect some property.
Fair?
I'm just fact-checking myself. I don't know exactly how far he drove. He drove across state lines. I do know that. With a gun he wasn't supposed to have. Yeah, I know we're gonna get guys. I see you talking in the chat room about that. That's the point I want to make. I'm just trying to find it with the judge's ringtone. But we'll get to that in a second.
The car source locations, yes.
And once the police had pushed everybody south of that, there was no more danger.
At that car source location, yes.
Okay. So why not go home at that point?
Because the police were still pushing people back, and then they were backing up, and I was still helping people provide medical first aid.
Okay, so the police had established the line at 60th with their Bearcats at that point, right?
Yes.
And there was no indication that they were going to reverse and back up and move back north again that you saw, correct?
No, they did it earlier in the night where they did the same thing.
Right, but this is at 11:30, 11:40 at night, and they've established that, the police have established that line, and as far as you can tell, it's going to stay there, right?
I don't know.
And you talked about trying to provide medical help, but there's no one around that needs medical help at the 59th Street car source at that point, is there?
Not that I noticed.
So you don't have...
Wait, was he protecting used cars? I mean, if it was today, I get that, because used cars are like $50,000. I get that. It makes sense. But this is Kenosha, Wisconsin during the pandemic. You buy a used car for like $8. So we murdered a couple people over about $14. I adjusted for today's inflation. Wait, let me do that again. $718.
Have any purpose there anymore, do you?
Other than...
So why not go home?
Because I was going to help people provide first aid and medical assistance.
But
with your AR-15.
That wasn't the reason you were there that night. You were there that night to protect the 59th Street car source.
It was one of the...
Hold on. Is that literally what he was there for? Let's look up 59th Street car source. 59th Street car source. Okay. Let's just the headline. It's, oh God, this hurts me physically. I see this headline and a couple of things become apparent. Yeah, it was a bunch of used cars. Or, actually, I don't even know. It's called a car shop. We'll find out what that means. It could be selling car parts. That's where we are. I'm not a guy who's into possessions one way or the other. There's a few things I value, and then I break them. I have a mug with my son's picture on from when he played hockey at 16 or something. I broke it. I have a horse. The only thing I got from my grandfather. I don't want to sound ungrateful. There might have been some inheritance money. I don't know. My grandfather passed away when I was 12. I did not care about the inheritance. I don't even remember if the kids. I don't know. The grandkids might have gotten $500 or something. I don't know. My grandfather died unexpectedly. He wasn't given the correct treatment at a hospital. Anyway, that's another story. So I was passed away, and what I got from him was this ceramic horse. He was a big horse fan, I guess. And it's like a draft horse, a pole horse, I don't know what you would call it. Anyway, and somewhere in the many moves that I've done, I broke it. So right now it's sitting in a trash can for protection, just like a little IKEA trash can, is my grandfather's horse. And I have to fix it. And it's been broken for probably about a year now. It broke during COVID. I think I remember that. And I want to fix it properly. So I have to, at some point, sit down and watch a YouTube video on how to fix a ceramic figurine. It's about yay big. You guys can't see it, so I have to do this small. It's much bigger than this, but it's outside the hold on. I gotta undo the blocker on this site, and I'm gonna bring this over. This is the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. So apparently Kyle Rittenhouse has said the owners asked me to go and protect their property. Hey, 17-year-old kid with an AR-15. Do us a favor. Can you go protect our property, please? And here is the car shop owner of the 56th Street Car Source saying they did not ask him to protect their property during the unrest. And is it just a repair shop? We'll do a little more research on what this your car source. Let's see if there's actual used car source vehicles. So this is 5821 Sheridan Road. It does seem like this is okay. So it is a used vehicles under 10,000, under 8,000, under 4,000. So this is here's a 2010 Mercedes-Benz for $9,999. This is not just a used car lot. This is a cheap-ass used car lot specializing in vehicles under $10,000, even by today's post-pandemic standards. So Kyle Rittenhouse murdered 2 people because of some junkers. And he's probably going to get off. Wow. Saying that the owners asked him to protect it, and the owners are saying, no, we did not. I have no problem with used cars. I encourage people to buy used cars. I have a used car. My other car is a new. My car springs anew. It's a lease car. It's a hydrogen car. It's a different story. Anyway, I have never, apart from the cars I've owned for businesses, I have never owned a new car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it loses 25% of the value, blah, 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 blah. So I encourage people, nothing against used car lots, nothing against the owner of this car source who claims that he did not ask the 17-year-old with an assault weapon to protect his cars. They're all covered by insurance anyway. Idiots. I don't even know if we got to the end of this clip. Hold on. We got to go find what in the middle of the trial. Okay, so we go. Okay, here it is. So Justin Baragona, who posts a lot of stuff online, he posted this. This is in the middle of discussion in the trial. This is live at this point. This is what happens if you haven't seen it. It's disgusting. It doesn't change a goddamn thing, legally speaking. Here it is. Let's check in with you guys before I play. Deidre has a used car. Good for you, Deidre. It's nice to have a car. We are privileged. Stephanie says, I've only had one new car in my life. I still have it. It only has 60,000 miles on it, and it's 11 years old. Good for you. My daughter's car has 82,000 miles now, I think, and it is 20 years old. And California is awesome, and I'm going to discuss that in a little while, but let's get to this first. Libby says, Libby, who has medical training herself, says Kyle has no medical training. He lied and identified as an EMT. He is not. Chris Wilson said he will find his way back into a courtroom at some point in his life. I'm confident of that. That doesn't help. Here's what I wanted to get to. This is what I'm talking about. Good morning, Josh. We're just watching the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. This is highlights from yesterday. This sort of puts the entire thing in the nutshell. Again, right off the start in this trial, if you missed what I was talking about earlier, right off the start of this trial, the judge says, hey, prosecution, you are not allowed to call the victims victims. You can refer to them as rioters, but you can't call them victims. Even though right off the bat, we don't have any evidence that the people that Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed were rioting. We don't know that. They could have come to protect property like Kyle did. We don't know. We do not know. Because they're dead. This is nauseating.
I don't think that's necessarily what I'm supposed to do. But I think the court has to make some findings as it relates to the bad faith on the part of the prosecution. And if the court makes a finding that the actions that I had talked about.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Were done in bad faith, then I think.
So fitting that it's a discussion of good versus bad faith when the judge's cell phone rings and it's playing Trump's theme song. This is the song. I think the correct English here is to which. This is a song to which Trump takes the stage when he does his rallies. Goes up there and needlessly adjusts the microphone. That's a reference for Chris Wilson. I know that's his favorite thing. Here's a microphone right here. So I'm going to illustrate this. This is Trump with his microphone. Needlessly adjusts it. This is a lapel mic. He doesn't use one, but that's for our friend Chris. That's because Chris has got to get his 38 cents per annum out of this broadcast, and I think that was it right there. Can we all agree on that? Everybody? Judges? There are no judges. I'm going to have to cowbell this myself. More cowbell! Right there. Congratulations, Chris Wilson. Send off the fireworks. I think we're done with Chris for the year. Do I have any? Hold on. Let's see what I have. I do not have any fireworks to show Chris Wilson here today. What I do have is something else very celebratory. Let's show this.
There are promising. Remdesivir.
We're also studying this and other promising therapies, which is a therapy produced by Gilead, and that would be it's called Remdesivir. The ones that I mentioned are very good, but especially I think if you look at
Remdesivir,
the first mention could be a absolute total game changer.
An oldie but a baddie. Trump talking about Remdesivir. I can't hear that. I think that's what that was. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. It's silent in my ears, but you guys get to enjoy that. So there's your fireworks. I don't know where my fireworks are. They were on my timeline. I've changed studios and computers a couple of times since that. Actually, no, this is the same computer, but the fireworks are gone. I have them. So, you know what? I should have done today. I do have some kind of background with an American flag and all kinds of stuff like that. But we won't bother with that right now. I should be doing that because hold on. Oh, I don't have a green screen. We can't do the American flag. But God, that's what we lived through. So anyway, the judge in the case has a cell phone that plays Trump's theme song. You should be able to ask for a mistrial based solely upon that. I am hoping to get a mistrial on that, because at this point I don't see things going the prosecution's way. The idea of self-defense is null and void if the altercation is started by the accused. You can't claim self-defense. If I go up to somebody and I stab them, and then they stab me back, and I stab them again, I can't claim self-defense saying, oh, he stabbed me. Well, you started it. So there's no self-defense argument in this case, but he's being allowed to use the self-defense argument because the judge has already ruled on that, as I understand it. I have not been paying attention to the trial. I have only seen the highlights. Just FYI, I have boxes and boxes and boxes they asked for a mistrial with prejudice. Good. We'll see if they get that. With prejudice means without prejudice is meaning inclusive of everything. With prejudice means there are considerations. So we ask for the mistrial based upon these things. That's a very layman's term of how to describe. I'm not a lawyer, but I have played one on TV. I've also played victims on TV. Sorry, I've also played rioters on TV. Let's see. There's a lot of car talk going on in the chat room. We'll skip on that. Chris Wilson says this case will get pushed to the finish line, and the most he will be charged with is a minor in possession of a firearm. No prison time coming out of this. Ugh. Except for the time served where, hold on, there is a picture of him. Let's see if I can find that picture. Taking selfies like a celebrity in a bar. I should be able to find that. Here's the clip of it. Okay, here's the picture itself. So here's Kyle Rittenhouse in a bar with a t-shirt that says "Free as fuck." This is the same guy who cried on the witness stand yesterday because he's so upset by everything that's been going on. He cried because he's on trial. He's not crying because he feels any remorse. Does "free as fuck" meanwhile doing the white power symbol? See, the W is for the white. This is the P. The circle right here, there's your P. Flashing the white power sign, which is not okay. Wearing a "free as fuck" shirt does not, to me, indicate remorse. By the way, the guy taking the selfie with him also flashing the white power sign. There's Oak. Thumbs up, or as Thumb does it, thumbs to the side. You ever notice Trump can't do a straight thumbs up? It's always, he's just that lazy. He can't do a fucking thumbs up. Moron. This is during the trial, and I think I posted something yesterday about, here it is again. Here's another picture. There's Kyle Rittenhouse walking around town in his cargo shorts, which should be enough to put him away for a good long time. I'm kidding. I love cargo shorts. A lot of women's have problem with the cargo shorts. You know what I discovered since yesterday? Oh, you know what I discovered? This is actually my wedding ring. It's a fake prop ring that I bought years ago that was discovered recently. I thought I had just kind of found a ring. Turns out it's mine. It was discovered in one of my pockets by the girl who does the laundry here. That would be producer Jojo. We share laundry duties. If they're dirty clothes, we put them in, but I am not allowed to put clothing into the dryer unless it's my clothing, because I just put everything in the dryer. Apparently, women's have a lot of clothing that can't be dried by unnatural means. Who knew? So it's a great excuse. Like, I wanted to do the laundry, but I don't want to ruin everything. So score one for Kevin. Let's see if I can find. There's a video of the prosecution talking about the t-shirt. And it's just one of those, what is happening here? Okay, so I'll go back to my timeline because I know I posted this. These guys have degrees, law degrees. And this is, yeah, here we go. Hold on. I'm going to pump it up. I'm going to pump up the volume, dance, and Here is the prosecution. Hold on, let me check the time. Okay, we're good. This is the prosecution talking about the remorse felt on the witness stand. Libby says, do not put Joanna's clothes in the dryer. I know. And what I hear there, Libby, is, Kevin, don't do any housework. I'm like, hey, I would love to, but I can't. And why? Because it's just not the right thing to do. You guys know this. I think the term hero is overused in today's society, but
Already watched him break down on the stand with emotion. I'd like to probe how heartfelt and sincere these emotions are when you go to a bar and you pose for selfies with people, when you're out on bond in a first-degree intentional homicide trial wearing a free as fuck shirt. So, as I said, I want to use the photograph. I'm not going to talk about any of the people or who they were from. In fact, the photograph I'm going to use has actually got their faces blocked out, so we won't see any of the people in the crowd. We'll just see the defendant standing with a group of people for a selfie with that shirt on.
yeah, this is, by the way, the prosecution arguing to be able to show the jury the photo to establish how much remorse Kyle Rittenhouse actually feels about the incident. Because he cried on the witness stand. And to a jury, that looks great. Oh, here's this kid, and he's crying. The poor kid, he's gone through so much. He had to murder two rioters. He had to defend himself against two rioters that we have no evidence of rioting. And the poor kid. And now he's wearing a free as fuck t-shirt. YouTube's going to take away my monetization away, but they can't. You know why? Because they already took it away. And they won't give it back. By the way, YouTube, this is a react video. In case I am reacting to things we are watching. This whole thing's turned into a Kyle Rittenhouse thing. There's so many other things to react to today. Uh-oh. Eve said, weird, your channel just shut down here. I had to circle back, said error code on the black screen, FYI. Okay, well, hold on. Let's see. No, we're still broadcasting. That might have just been for you, Eve. I don't know. Hi, Lynn. Good morning. Let's see if I've missed anybody else who's come in recently. There's a few people watching. Hello to those of you watching on Twitter. If somebody's watching on Twitter, go ahead and say something in the Twitter chat. I'll do that myself because sometimes the Twitter chat don't work. Oh, let's do it. We can do it together. See if this causes some kind of feedback loop. There's me, and let's just make a comment. Oh no, I can't do that. I don't even know how Twitter works anymore. Hold on, let's do this. Because sometimes the Twitter chat don't work. Oh, let's do it. We can do it together. Okay, feedback loops. Stop. Feedback loop. There's me. Stop. How do we? Let's just make a comment. Okay, 0 viewers watching on Twitter right now. Everyone's watching on YouTube. Shut up. Stop. Okay, we can't do it. So Periscope is gone or something. Twitter used Periscope, and I don't hardly anybody comments from there anymore. Producer Jojo, we were just talking about you. If you could do me a favor and finish up with the laundry, that would really be great. We were just talking about that. I'm not allowed to do the laundry because I screw it up. I should start screwing up the vacuuming and the mopping. You know what I really should screw up is the unpacking of boxes. Oh yeah, no, I just put everything in the wrong place. I better stop with the boxes and the that's a bed, by the way. See all this stuff? This was behind me, and so I had to put it up there. But oh man, I'm totally screwing that up. Hey, look, producer Jojo, see those boxes on the bed? Oh my God, what if those boxes are dirty? We don't know where that printer's been. They could be filthy on that nice white comforter. I'd better not do any unpacking anymore. You'd better handle all the unpacking, even of my boxes. I don't know if she's noticed that the printer is sitting on the bed sheet. She peeked in here. She opened the door a little while ago when she finally got out of bed. I may now, in fact, not have to do any more unpacking. Win. Chris Wilson says, I ruined one of my wife's sweaters years ago. Never allowed to go near laundry again. The perfect plan. Chris, virtual high five. There you go. There's my scar, by the way. There's a story behind that. And there is my wedding ring. You want to be attractive to the opposite sex? Put on a wedding ring. That's only if you're a guy. Joanna says she doesn't go in there. She doesn't come in this room. It's a scary room. It is. By the way, the printer is clean. I did check on that. And the other boxes, you can see there's a comforter, another comforter that's colored that I put over the white comforter. And the boxes, because the boxes could theoretically have some dust on them. They've been being moved around and stuff, although these are all clean boxes. They're not sitting on the white comforter. And then over there, yeah, there's things underneath the boxes. Just so you know. I'm not an ogre. Stephanie says, you wouldn't know that I'm nice when I talk to doctors. I got a real problem with anger management with them anymore. I can understand that. For those of you who don't know, Stephanie's had some pain issues and being withdrawn from pain, from different narcotics, etc., etc. I'm getting this all wrong, I'm sure. But the doctors refuse to give her stuff, and some doctors do. And then the doctor she was going to at some pain clinic, they got busted by the DOJ or the FBI or something. It's the same thing. But anyway, somebody busted them, so she can't go there anymore, and she can't get an appointment with the new one because then everybody in the entire valley has to go to the new. It's a mess. There, but for the grace of God, very fortunate that the only pain I feel is in my ass. Stephanie says not enough pain medication to stop her pain. I'm sorry. Jojo says, exactly, Libby. I don't know what that's about. But all I know is I can do the wash, but when I put things in the dryer, I can't start the dryer until, oh crap, you know what I just did this morning? I started the dryer. Oh, hold on. Producer Jojo, if you're listening, check the dryer. There may be some things in there that shouldn't be. I'm so sorry. I will hang them up. If you put them in my bathroom, I will hang them up over my shower curtain for them. It hasn't been that long. I just started it 47 minutes ago. I don't. Oh boy, I may have really screwed up this morning. But I was trying to be a good guy. No good deed. Let's go check out just what we should be outraged by this morning. We'll go to Fucks and Friends as we like to, and figure out what we should be outraged by that doesn't exist. They're going to talk about Memorial Day, I'm sure. Veterans Day for a couple of minutes. Let's go with that.
Veterans Day, Fox News has teamed up. We are a premium partner with usvets.org.
Okay, that's good. So they're talking a little bit about Veterans Day. And we'll move on from there. Okay, so more Veterans Day honoring. Okay, we'll just
Fox
jump ahead
News' own
here.
Brett Baer, who'll be
Show us what it looks like.
Everyone at home can see it. We can't see it right now.
Because it's
it doesn't show up
camouflage.
on
Exactly.
It's down there.
Play along. Right.
It's down
All right.
there.
It's
you know,
the
the Fox logo that gets burned into your screen?
right. But no, we
It
started
moves.
rotating the square so it doesn't happen
Really?
a little bit.
After we wrecked a lot of TVs.
Right.
You turn your TV off and you'd still see the Fox
It's
logo
the
there.
crazy
They're talking about the Fox logo being burned into people's TV permanently because electronic devices will do that. And I've seen that. I've walked into for doctor's offices, dentist offices, etc., and seen the Fox logo burned in the screen. Then they started rotating it, but for years it was just sitting there in the corner of the screen. And you could walk in, especially with the older TVs, plasma. You could walk in and you would see, even if the TV was off or if the TV was on and on another channel, you could still see emblazoned on the screen this Fox News logo, and you would know this is not a dentist I want to go to.
The easiest thing Steve ever did was told everyone, don't change the channel, send in your remotes.
Right.
And we got remotes.
I got thousands. Thousands and thousands of television stuck on the Fox News channel.
Yeah, there's a ton of people out there, and the average age is 76 of these people who sit there and just watch Fox News. My former in-laws would watch a few other things, but just about all the time the thing was on Fox News, and they would believe it. And I would show them evidence to the contrary, saying, well, that's not reality. And they didn't care. They just kept watching the Fox News because it made them feel good.
And they love
And by good, scared.
it. That's
It's
why
so
we're
true.
Remember how Obama got into power? This is back in the day when I was married. Obama came into power, and then we got communism healthcare, and then America is gone now. Which is, I'm not sure what country we live in now, because it's just gone. It's ruined. Because Obama ruined it. Remember, the Tea Party said that was going to happen, and Fox News said that was going to happen, and that's exactly what happened. And all the patriots have, they have no cars, no houses anymore. It's sad.
We've been the #1 channel for about, wait a minute, it started that day. People didn't change.
Can I tell you, I pay that cable bill every month for one reason, to watch Fox News continuously.
Absolutely.
And the Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Cartoon Network, says Brian Kilmeade. She's got kids. I think that's what he's referring to. But I think that's like, but just leave it there. Brian's talking for himself. Nothing but Fox News and the Cartoon Network on my TV.
No.
And he doesn't have kids. I don't know. He could have kids. I hope not.
Does he have a child?
No, I make her watch Fox now.
Oh, really?
There's no-
Fantastic.
It's funny because it's true.
Well, she's got to watch
This is
Mama.
your cartoon.
Come on.
Just kidding. Okay, 6
I wish I could go back and show you guys Fox News from about circa 2010.
6 here on the East Coast. A dramatic day in court for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay, we talked about that. Well, let's see how they feel about Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's see what they show.
As he truly breaks down.
He truly breaks down. He truly breaks down. Oh, poor kid.
Sobbing while he was testifying in his own defense.
This as his attorneys request a mistrial accusing prosecutors of misconduct.
But will mistrial lead to a retrial? Todd Pyro is here with the latest as we await the decision, the judge's decision on that. Todd.
Steve, Ainsley, and Brian, good morning. Such an emotional day of testimony. Kyle Rittenhouse taking the stand in his own defense, saying he did nothing wrong and only fired in self-defense after being attacked and ambushed.
Describe what happened.
I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski.
I walked right into the lion's den, and suddenly there were lions everywhere, and
there were there were 3 people right there.
I think that's the first time I've done a slow freedom clap.
That's right, run.
A spokesperson.
Are you gonna show the T-shirt, the free as fuck T-shirt? Is that what you're gonna show? Because that was part of the trial too. That lasted a lot longer. That whole discussion with the judge, than the little scene there with him sobbing, full of emotion, so full of emotion. Such a good boy.
Person for Rittenhouse says he had no.
I'm going to design a convicted as fuck T-shirt. Just start selling it now in the hopes. I don't know what he's doing there.
Doubt about testifying.
The truth is in his camp. And you can't go wrong.
Oh, there's his spokesperson.
When every single fact lines up in your camp, right?
When you make up the facts. Like saying that the guy who owns Car Source told you to go protect the used cars that were insured. But by the way, when you insure a vehicle, Car Source puts up a Mercedes-Benz from 2010 for $10,000. Say, I have nothing against Car Source. Nothing against Car Source. Odds are very good when you go to Car Source. I would feel, these are just my feelings. I do not know any of these are facts, but they are. When you go to Car Source, if I was to go down to Car Source today, let's put it last year because used car market is wacky right now. If I was to go down to Car Source today, except that it was last year during the riots, they'd be like, we're closed, the riots, and then I would get shot. So let's say a couple of days before the riots, or I should say the victims, if I was to go down there and the car was listed at $10,000, I would be happy if I walked out of there paying $7,700. That's how used cars work. That's why nobody likes shopping for used cars. That's why places are now sprouting up that there's no haggle sticker. That's, you just pay what it says on the sticker. We don't barter. That's the price. Everything's firm. But traditionally, used cars have been on the barter system, which is weird, but that's the way it works. So you pay a lot less. However, if you happen to own a used car lot and a riot happens, the cars are insured, you get the full asking price. You do better as a business to the tune of several $1,000s if the rioters take out your cars. Destroy the vehicles, total loss. How much was this car worth? We said it was worth $10,000. You're going to get that $10,000. Here you go, says the insurance company. Kyle Rittenhouse, if asked to protect the cars, would have not only increased the liability to the owners, but would have lost the money. It makes no sense whatsoever. And he lied about it because we know now that the owner of the Car Source lot said, no, I didn't ask him. I didn't ask a 70-year-old paramedic to protect my lot. That's well, it is the barter system at random because it's bartering with dollars. It's the haggling system. Anyway, it's dumb. I just said, well, I don't know. You guys might be saying what I'm saying because there's a little bit of delay. It's, yeah, haggling. Bargaining. Okay? It's not the barter system because no one's trading pelts for the cars. Although, I don't know. This is Wisconsin.
Right. So he wanted to get on this.
It's not a profile of USA Youth. It's a profile of Turning Point USA Youth. But in general, I think the upcoming generation is much more tolerant of differences than we are.
Another moment everybody's talking about. The lead prosecutor reprimanded by the judge for raising inadmissible evidence. Listen.
No. It wasn't inadmissible evidence. The judge declared it inadmissible evidence. The judge is making the decision on that.
Don't get brazen with me. You know very well.
Really? That's all they're going to show us? That not the idea, not where he does get brazen, just the judge saying don't get brazen. Show us the brazenness, please, Fox News. He was not brazen.
Well, that an attorney can't.
By the way, I was watching a show last night and they had a couple of actual judges on there and both the judges were like, that's not usual judge behavior.
Go into these.
Don't get brazen with me. I like beer. I still like beer. The Clinton campaign has come after me. That's a little bit. It's a little bit Judge Kavanaugh, a little bit My Pillow guy.
Areas when the judge has already ruled without asking.
And it is Wisconsin. Okay, all right, that all tracks. The guy's got the same accent. Don't get brazen with me.
Outside the presence of the jury to do so.
Don't
give me that.
Don't give me that.
Now, moving forward, based upon...
Give me your business and I guarantee the best pillow night's sleep since the fraud.
On that exchange, the judge says he might consider a mistrial. And Steve Ainsley and Brian, if that is a...
Good, that's a win.
Mistrial with prejudice, that means Rittenhouse could not be retried. If it's without prejudice, then different situation arises. But the twists and turns in this case, not ending anytime soon.
No,
Back to
Wisconsin sucks, by the way.
And Todd, you're an attorney, so
Yes.
let me ask you this: in watching the
that's a win for Rittenhouse, the dismissing with prejudice. Okay, then okay, you're done. And they can't do anything ex post facto because after the trial's over, it's not really what ex post facto would be. You can't. There's double indemnity. You can't come back and retry on the same thing if it's with prejudice. So it's a win.
Prosecutor
could be tried on federal charges. Probably won't be because the DOJ is not big on trying people apparently.
Violate that pre-trial order by the judge. So obviously, was he trying to do something?
But the judge can just say, "Go ahead, jury," and disregard that testimony. That's done all the time.
Was the prosecutor trying to get a mistrial?
That is the speculation because, again, you've heard lawyers say you learn this day one of law school. You sort of do. I mean, this is one of the underpinnings of our judicial system. For an experienced prosecutor like that to do what he did, there may be something else afoot. But if he was trying to go for a mistrial,
he's trying to lose the case. That's what we know. But actually, no. A general mistrial would be good because hopefully you end up with a different judge, not one who has Trump's theme song playing on his phone as his ringtone.
realizing that this case was not going his way, very risky strategy because if the judge does declare this with prejudice, that's game, set, match, and we're done.
Yep,
Okay.
no retrial.
Rittenhouse said that he was there to try to defend businesses during the riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It was a year ago.
And you remember that it's no question thanks,
Thank you,
Todd.
Todd.
Thank you.
There's no question he was doing that because for
No, there is a question because the owner of the business said, no, I didn't ask him to do that.
a couple of days we watched every business being burned down, the cops being sidelined.
We didn't watch every business being burned down. Every business was not burned down.
Because the war on cops was just taking root on just
the war on cops
months before in Minneapolis after the shooting of Jacob Blake in this situation. So it led to vigilante justice. This fact, his teenager went down to try to protect businesses. And the good news is so many people took video. It's not so much, it removed a lot of the opinion from this case. You saw the raw emotion, shot 4 people, killing 2 of them, killing 2, wounding 1. And the prosecution witnesses were the best defense witnesses. It was
That math doesn't add up. He shot 4 people, 2 are dead, 1 is wounded. What about the 4th person that he shot? Are they not wounded in some way? Well, yeah. I mean, he shot me. I mean, I have the bullet here, but I'm not wounded. What? How does that make any sense?
Bizarre.
They could explain exactly what was going on in each of those images. Clearly, it's a self-defense defense. And ultimately, it comes down to, with the jury, if
it doesn't apply if you're provoking it, but okay.
It goes to the jury. Did the prosecution...
And because it's being allowed to be a self-defense defense, the prosecution's going to lose. That's a setup. Oh, it's a kid. All you need is 1 of 12 jurors to say, oh, yeah, but you know, it's a kid. And he feels bad about it. Done. The trial's already over. So a mistrial without prejudice would be a good thing for the prosecution. Then they can come try him again with a different judge and maybe be able to say the word victims.
Prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
If there's a lawyer watching right now, there is some question. Could the federal courts go after him for something? There's civil rights actions and stuff like that, but not if both the victims are the same race. And yeah, it's hard to say. And that's the whole silly thing about the race crimes, the hate crimes, etc. Is it's the defendant has to have done something to somebody who was somehow different than them. But if you can say, well, this is a white guy and that's a white guy, it's just not a crime anymore. Exactly the same actions, not a crime.
There's a lot of reasonable doubt yesterday. Here's Judge Janine. Listen to this.
Oh, good. Here's Judge Janine.
What you had was a rush to judgment in August of 2020. We are in the post-George Floyd world. Jacob Blake had just been shot. Everybody wanted to make sure that, that everyone was prosecuted. This kid was prosecuted when the evidence was clear that he was defending himself. Now, once the burden of proof has shifted, once he claims self-defense, the prosecution has to disprove that beyond a reasonable doubt. That's why the prosecution is desperate right now. They're on the ropes.
Oh, he trips by himself, too. I thought he was pushed. No, he just falls down to the ground and starts firing. I'm looking at the video right now. Again, this case sickens me. I know how it's going to end. Well, I'm pretty sure how it's going to end. I thought maybe I saw him on the ground firing, and I was like, wait, did someone push him down? Because at that point, you're on the ground, you might feel threatened. No, he tripped over his fucking gun. I don't know. I'm reacting emotionally to this. I haven't had a chance to digest the video and analyze it. I do know that the prosecution was trying to submit the video with areas of it zoomed in, images with areas of it zoomed in, so the jury could get a better view of what was going on. And the judge was like, well, no, because you increased the pixels. No, we didn't enhance it, Your Honor. There's no enhancement to this. We're just zooming in. It's exactly the same number of pixels. And the judge is like, no, you need an expert verifying that. But we didn't do it. Well, the burden of proof is on you. Therefore, you have to prove that you didn't do something. Which is just everything this judge has done that I've seen. And again, I'm biased because I'm only seeing this stuff in my little news bubble that the judge does that's wacky. Okay, so you guys are chatting it up about this as well. We're almost done. Let's just finish up with what this whole thing's become a Kyle Rittenhouse morning, and that's too much Covfefe for me, and I got to get going with my day here.
Right, after seeing the video and hearing his very emotional testimony, I'm sure a lot of people
very emotional. Was that 7 times they said emotional already?
In the jury box were thinking,
you know what we should do? We should check in on the victims and see their emotions are.
It sounded like he was trying to protect himself. He was cornered and he had to shoot.
He was cornered because he tripped over his gun strap. I don't know for a fact. It's hard to tell from the video. But it does look like he fell on his own, not that he was pushed. I don't know. Maybe he was pushed. Maybe I can't see that angle. I'm just going off a video that hasn't been slowed down, that hasn't been enhanced.
Sad.
But the whole thing's based on a lie, predicated on idiocy. He had his mom drive him 12,000 miles. I don't know. Across state lines, I do know that. With an AR-15 he's not supposed to have.
He went through all the different situations with all the people that were shot and what they were doing to him and how he was trying to protect himself. We'll continue to follow that. Yeah. In the meantime, the president...
I just finished one thing I think is unbelievable is, once again, the president... We thought it was a big deal when Barack Obama said the police acted stupidly with the professor when they went to his house, and the controversy when his first year in the office. But what about the fact that the president, again, Biden, called him a white supremacist? I mean, talk about...
White supremacist, right?
Tweeted out a video that branded people in the video, including him, a white supremacist.
I mean, think about how this whole case was skewed, how hard it is to sit a jury, and how everyone rushed to this conclusion, except for the people that actually saw the video and thought, I hope how cooler heads would prevail. And in the big picture, the whole problem, this is exactly what the funding and defaming and changing the police resulted in. The police were there, but they kept their hands off.
No one defunded the police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. You're putting the present in the past, and the present isn't even happening. In fact, the people recently in the area, not in Kenosha, voted not to defund the police because it's stupid.
Because they've been told they're the problem. That's what led to all this chaos.
Is that what led to all this chaos because it didn't exist?
It's back to a really tough time in our country.
Right.
And we're watching
during Trump, by the way, a really tough time under Trump.
Last year.
And the city leaders in Kenosha just said, you know, let it burn, essentially.
Yeah,
let it burn.
It's just property. Human lives are more valuable than property. That's what the city leader said. Shame on them. Used cars are more Actually, right now, it's used cars are more. But by the way, used cars, this period compared to last year, guess how much more used cars cost now than the same month last year? September last year, September this year. Guess how much? Guess what percentage? I'm going to let you guys in the chat, because if you're on YouTube, I'm going to pull up the YouTube stream. Today, you're only 2 seconds behind me. It's actually, we've got a fantastic throughput today. Haven't dropped a single frame. I don't know what I did, but I'm a mechanical genius. Guess what percentage used cars are more expensive today? Because inflation has skyrocketed. That's the word everybody uses. CNN, MSNBC, doesn't matter. Skyrocketed. There's a chip shortage. Today, October. What you would pay in September, October, compared to September, October of last year, what percentage more? Like bacon is up 30%, 37%, but used cars is going to shock you. Guess how much more you'll pay for a used car because there's no new cars. Guess how much more because of the chip shortage. There's no guacamole. There's no avocados. We're having a crisis here in the United States. What percentage? Liberty says 30% more. Thomas says 17% more. Marcy says 3% more. Wow, we're across the board on this one. Guess what percentage? Go ahead and get your guess in now. There's a ton of people watching. A ton. I'm no Hal Sparks. But what the hell? Let's talk about it. Guess what percentage? Go ahead and put in your guess now, and then I'll reveal what percentage used cars are up. And then we'll end the broadcast. I think that's a good note. Unless you get it right on, you're going to feel like an idiot. And that's how I like to start the day. Tracy says 45%. Okay, good, Tracy. Anybody else? You've got, we'll give it 10 more seconds. Eve says, and all out there fighting. Just stay home. It's danger out there. Eve says 14%. I'll give you guys a hint. It's not 14%. I'll give just a few more seconds. I said 10. I lied. I'm a big liar. I'm pretty much a Kyle Rittenhouse of live streaming. Joanna says 45%. Well played, Joanna. Well played, producer Joanna. I'm pretty sure. So what we've learned today is that producer Joanna has no memory, because I talked about this with her yesterday. Used cars are up 10% year over year. That's it. 10%. Am I wrong? Let's verify that. Let's do this. Let's get off of them because we're done with that. Inflation. Year over year used vehicle. Well, we'll just say used. Inflation rate, trading economics. I want to see the news. Here we go. The news. Year over year. This is CNBC. 6.2% in October. Let's find out if we can find cars here. Cars. Nope. How about vehicles? Okay, so show me more of the vehicle, please. New vehicles are up 9.8%, so it's about 10% for the year. Okay, so I'm wrong. Okay, so the stat I saw on TV yesterday is not quite correct. Used vehicles, according to CNBC, and I was watching MSNBC, I believe, when I saw this. It could have been CNN. I don't know. Could have been Fox. Used vehicles rising 2%, 2.5% on the month, and 26.4% for the year. So somebody was right. I'm going to say Eve. New vehicles, 9.8%. Even though you can't get new vehicles, they're up 9.8% for the year. So that was the 10% figure. So congratulations, whoever said close to 10% when I was talking about used vehicles. This is new vehicles. So once again, the lamestream media got it wrong. And I think that's a good lesson for today. So guys, I'm going to start my day because it's about time. Yeah, I got to get going here. Be good to yourself, be good to others. And most importantly, be good to me.